Let's start antibiotics for the rupture. Sounds like one decision. It is really three different women, and they have different answers. There is the woman who just ruptured and is otherwise well. There is the woman whose membranes are already infected. And there is the woman who carries group B strep, or might. For the well woman, the answer is no. For the infected woman, treat. Group B strep we covered last lecture, but it returns here because the drug you reach for depends on which of these women is in front of you. The hard case is none of the three. The woman in between, ruptured long enough that calling her well no longer quite fits. Take the easy ones first. Start with the well woman, because she is the one we treat when we should not. She ruptured a few hours ago, and nothing else is going on. Do you cover her just in case? No. Pool the trials of routine antibiotics for term rupture, and they show no real benefit. Not for the mother, not for the baby. The only thing that moved was the cesarean rate, and it went up, not down. The reason is simple. This early, almost none of these women are infected, so there is nothing there for the antibiotic to prevent. And it still has a price, resistance, and a dose to the newborn's gut for no gain. I will be honest that the cesarean signal is soft, traced mostly to one study, so the real case against treating everyone is not harm. It is that there is no benefit to buy.
Now, the opposite woman, the one already infected. She has a fever and the signs that go with it, clinical chorioamnionitis. Here, there is nothing to weigh. You treat. And now, ampicillin and gentamicin, broad cover, with an anaerobic drug added if she needs a cesarean, the moment you make the diagnosis. And you deliver her. You do not wait for the antibiotic to work. That pairing, ampicillin and gentamicin, is the treatment for an infection. It is not what you give anyone who is not yet infected. So the two ends are settled. Do not treat the well woman, treat the sick one, broadly. The whole lecture is the woman between them, ruptured long enough that her chance of infection has quietly climbed, but with no fever, no sign she is infected yet. Watch what happens to that no as the hours add up. Take the same routine antibiotic question, but look only at women ruptured more than 12 hours. Now the antibiotic does something. It roughly halves the rate of chorioamnionitis, from about 6% down to 3%. A group of strep-negative women given penicillin from 18 hours showed the same kind of drop. It is the same drug that did nothing early. What changed is the woman, not the medicine. Early, there was nothing to prevent, and by 12 or 18 hours, there is. So the rule is not antibiotics work or antibiotics don't. It is that they do nothing until enough time has passed for there to be something to prevent. These are small studies, so hold the exact numbers loosely. The direction is the solid part.
That leaves two questions. Where is the line, and what do you give at it? Take the line first. Two thresholds are in use, and they answer two different questions. The one nearly everyone knows is 18 hours, and it is a Group B strep rule. For a woman whose carriage you do not know, membranes open 18 hours is a risk factor that earns her Group B strep prophylaxis in labor. The Israeli guideline lists it alongside a labor fever and a preterm birth. Separately, the French draw a line at 12 hours for a different reason. To hold down general infection, they treat even a strep-negative woman past 12 hours. No one has tested 12 against 18 head-to-head, so the exact hour follows your guideline. But both lines are asking the same thing. Has enough time passed that prophylaxis is worth it? And both are answered with the same kind of drug. That drug is a single beta-lactam. Penicillin is the drug of choice. 5 million units to load, then 2.5 million every 4 hours until the baby comes. Ampicillin is the accepted alternative. 2 grams, then 1 gram every 4 hours. One agent. This is the very regimen from the Group B strep lecture, and that is the point. Whether you are covering a known carrier or a woman past 18 hours whose status you never learned, the prophylaxis is penicillin, or ampicillin,
not the ampicillin and gentamicin you give the febrile woman. Gentamicin is there to treat an infection you have found, not to prevent one you have not.
If she is truly penicillin allergic, the choice follows the allergy, not a reflex. Low risk of anaphylaxis? Cefazolin. Real anaphylaxis, with an organism known to be susceptible? Clindamycin, or erythromycin. And if the organism is resistant, or was never tested for susceptibility, vancomycin. That last step is the one people skip, and it is where the reflex does harm, because the reflex is to reach for clindamycin. Given blindly, clindamycin let chorioamnionitis run far higher than ampicillin, around 15% against 2, and Group B strep grew straight through it. A good share of strep is now resistant to clindamycin, and the drug barely reaches the baby, so the allergic woman on clindamycin is, in practice, uncovered. The real repair is upstream. Most reported penicillin allergy is not real. Test it, and most of these women turn out to take a beta-lactam just fine.
There is one more thread, and it is honest to name because it comes from here, from Israel. Trials have asked whether adding gentamicin to ampicillin as prophylaxis past 18 hours in strep-negative or unknown women beats ampicillin alone, and they found less chorioamnionitis. The reason offered is E. coli, which now causes much of newborn sepsis and often no longer answers to ampicillin. It is a real signal, and it may move the guideline in time, but it has not yet. The standard prophylaxis is still the single beta-lactam. And those trials had no untreated arm. They compare one drug against another, not treatment against nothing. So carry it as a promising challenge to the regimen, not as the regimen. One last point, about timing rather than drug. Once you have decided to treat at the line, start at the line, not before it. It feels safer to get ahead of it. It is not. The two largest studies compared starting early against starting later and found no difference in infection, for mother or baby. Racing to treat mostly means treating women who would have delivered and never needed it, about half of them. Wait for the threshold and you spare them a drug they were never going to need.
So when someone says, start antibiotics for the rupture, the reply is a question back. For which woman? The well one, a few hours out? None. The one past the line, or the known carrier? Penicillin, or ampicillin, a single beta-lactam. The one already febrile? Ampicillin and gentamicin, treatment without waiting. One word was standing in for 3 decisions, and the drug is different in every one.